Action from Vancouver, where the Grizzlies took on Sacramento. The Kings just dominating this one in the first 3 quarters. Jason Williams to Chris Webber for a big dunk there. The Kings up by 16 in the third, but the Grizzlies just wouldn't lie down with 1.2 seconds left. Sharif Abdur-Rahim with that three-pointer at the buzzer. And the Kings are just up by 2. Fourth quarter, more from the Grizzlies. Watch the pass from Bivy to Abdur-Rahim, who finishes off with a slam. He had 22 points and 11 rebounds. But the Grizzlies come back to win it by 12. Today, Jalen Rose was just unstoppable in this game. He was 7 for 7 from the field in the first half, and then the Rose show continued in the second. He finished with 29 points, leading the Pacers in scoring for the 7th time in the last 11 games. Indiana win their 22nd straight home game.
Party for Toronto's Vince Carter against the Phoenix Suns in front of a national television audience in the States on Sunday. Carter, the 3 from the corner, the 3 from the wing, 25 in the first half, and Toronto was up 6 at the break. Third quarter, look at this move, the 360 lay-in plus the foul. Raptors by 4, and it gets better. Tracy McGrady loses the handle, but his cousin Vince is there to clean house. What a great play. And then Carter showing the J ability from the outside. 43 at that point, and he would finish next to this nice little lay-in with a career-high 51 points. That is tops in the NBA this season. Toronto up 4, then late trying to protect a 1-point lead. Rodney Rogers for the win for the Suns. Does not go, and Toronto escapes by 1 point. And a great coming-out party for Vince the Prince.
And they don't call this guy Air Canada for nothing. Vince Carter is back to his old tricks.
Miami Heat were without injured star center Alonzo Mourning against the visiting New York Knicks, who tried to take advantage of his absence, did so early on. Larry Johnson with a lay-in. Then on the break again, Allen Houston. No looks it to Kurt Thomas for the hoop, plus the foul. The Knicks building a 20-point lead. Zoe not pleased, but the Heat start to claw back into it. Clarence Weatherspoon spins in the post and in. The Heat outscoring the Knicks 20-10 in the second quarter, cut the Knicks lead to 6 at the break, and the comeback would continue in the third quarter. Tim Hardaway draining the 3. He's fired up. Then at the buzzer, Jamal Mashburn knocks down the baseline jumper, and suddenly Miami has their first lead of the game, 61-60. Then late in the contest, Bruce Bowen drains the 3. The Heat rally to win this one by 9 to extend their lead in the Atlantic Division over the Knicks to 2.5 games.
Boston, where the Celtics hosted Dennis Rodman and the Dallas Mavericks. First half, Dennis was just being Dennis. Really hit Vitaly Potapenko with a elbow there, and then points which way he should be going. Then later on, Dennis' mistake leads to a big slam, and Dennis was just being himself, trying to save that loose ball there. But finally, Dennis would be constructive to his team, gets one of 16 rebounds there, kicks it out to Michael Finley, who hits the 3. The Mavericks with a big comeback win in Boston. They take it by 8. Up to play for the Sixers against Dallas. And he was doing some damage early in the first quarter. The drive baseline, and it's the top lay-in. And more Iverson down the lane with another lane. He had 15 points in the first quarter. Meanwhile, how was the Dennis Rodman doing for Dallas? Not too well. The pass to no one. He had no points, 3 rebounds in 18 minutes. Second quarter, more Iverson makes the steal, then leads the break. And watch out the pass. George Lynch finishes with a reverse layup, and the Sixers were cruising in this one. The second half, more Sixers. Sean Rooks is denied by Theo Ratcliffe. And Iverson leads the break, and he finishes it off. 35 points on the night, as the Sixers win easily by 19. To Indiana, where the Pacers were looking to maintain their home winning streak. They took on Detroit. Reggie Miller was hot from 3 points. Land there, he hits a 3, and then Mark Jackson later on finds Rick Smits.
2 points out of that tandem.
And the Dutchman hits the jumper. The Pacers up by 17 in the first quarter. Second quarter, the Pistons come back. Jerry Stackhouse, the big dunk, and then Grant Hill also doing his best to get the Pistons back. 2 points of his own in spectacular fashion. Stackhouse and Hill combined for 69 points, but in the second half, just too much Indiana. Reggie Miller draining the shot from downtown, and then Stackhouse has the ball taken away. Jalen Rose with a great defensive play, and then the great pass to Miller. Miller had 24 on the night. The Pacers win their 23rd consecutive home game by beating Detroit.
I am unstoppable. The system is the only thing that can stop me. There's great players and there's great teams. I'll probably be in the great player category, but I don't think I really played on a great team yet. I think this year I'm a pretty good team that could turn into a great team. So once I get one of those championship balls in my house, then I'll consider myself them. So if I got 2 and 3 guys on me, 2 and 3 of my teammates open. And, you know, I like feeding Glenn Rice for the 3. You know, feeding Kobe. That's what it's going to take, everybody, you know, being involved.
Shot by Shaq.
Sacramento Kings' Jason Williams collected the loose ball against Vancouver, took it the other way and found Chris Webber with a brilliant over-the-shoulder pass. Williams looked one way but passed it another in an emphatic Kings win. So we toss our play of the day his way.
Piece of video evidence. The big man was smoking hot for Utah in Detroit Wednesday night. 17 in the first half, and he didn't let up in the second. The big slam underneath, and then watch the big guy run the floor. Finishing with the layup, he had 31 points and 13 rebounds as the Jazz knocked out the Pistons 107-94.
Early on, Kenny Anderson takes it all the way for the nice layup. Boston up by 6 at halftime. The score seesawed in the fourth quarter. Anderson with a jumper to put Boston ahead by 1. One last chance for the Raptors. Vince Carter with the desperation three-point shot. It's there. Toronto win by 2, and Carter finishes with 28 points. Over Seattle in 6 years, Clarence Weatherspoon with the early slam. Then on the break, Tim Hardaway feeds Dan Marley, who gets the easy basket. Miami led by 18 after the first quarter and kept it going with Jamal Mashburn leading the way. Miami beat the Sonics for the first time since 1994. Watching his Indiana Pacers face the Lakers in Los Angeles. The Lakers on fire early. Kobe Bryant with the sweet reverse jam. Before a Hollywood crowd, the Lakers led by 17 at the break and kept it going after Bryant hits the 3 and talks trash with Reggie Miller. Miller answers with a great play of his own, draining the 3 to make his point. But Kobe and the Lakers would have the last laugh. Bryant with the jam as the Pacers' misery on the road continues. And in the first half, after the interception, Tracy McGrady gets the ball in open court and heads to the basket for the windmill slam. And then in the second half, after Charles Oakley's shot is blocked, it goes right to Vince Carter, who gets the soft dunk to complete the Cousins World Sport play of the day. Well, for their second game in 3 days against the Raptors, and Toronto and Vince Carter dominating early on. The Raptors raced to a 14-point lead in the first quarter with Tracy McGrady's windmill dunk. McGrady finishing with a career-high 24 points as the Raptors win again, but this time more comfortably against the Celtics.
Slipped on the floor. The Bucks electrifying Ray Allen. Left his feet after a feed from Tim Thomas. All tied up at the halftime. Former Bucks point guard Terrell Brandon came up big. This 3 of his 22 points. Brandon was all around the ball, and the T-Wolves pull away 91-84 for a road victory. Had been used off the bench since being acquired earlier in the month from the Bulls. Said he felt kind of strange coming back to the United Center wearing different colors. The Croatian made himself right at home, though, canning 10 of his 11 points in the first half of play. But the scrappy Bulls would hang around. Elton Brand, the fellow rookie Ron Artest. It was a close game until Allen Iverson took over. Coming off a 2 for 18 shooting performance on Thursday, Iverson regained his touch. He made 12 of 20 shots for 29 points. The Sixers make Kukoc a winner in his Chi-Town return.
A recurring theme this week in the NBA, The Lake Show, powered by diesel fuel, keeps bringing joy to Tinseltown. Tracy McGrady have the Raptors cleaning up in the win column. We'll examine their perfect 4-0 week. Home against the Heat. Now, the Lakers beat the best team in the East Friday night, the Pacers, by 15 points. Indiana ended LA's 16-game win streak in January, but like everyone else lately, they were no match for the Jazz this afternoon at 12:30 Eastern. Utah features the 2 guards with the highest field goal percentage in the NBA. John Stockton is shooting 50% from the floor. Jeff Hornacek is at 49%. They shot a combined 50% when Utah beat New York in November at the Delta Center. Center. Now, the Knicks shot just 37% in their embarrassing 13-point loss in Atlanta Friday night. They only scored 70 points in the game, and when the Knicks squad shows up like that, well, it's trouble. Mahorn, Coach Vince Carter, he wouldn't complain about behind-the-back dribbles and passes and acrobatics. We'll look back at a great week for half man, half amazing. Stay tuned.
With the game.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about, Spider.
What's in the
Here in Detroit, but Tracy McGrady had a big hand in Toronto's undefeated week, not to mention a pretty big appetite.
What is better?
Time now for the Federal Express delivery of the week. Raptors and Knicks at the Garden. Muggsy Bogues to Tracy McGrady. Fancy pass to Vince Carter, who finishes strong. It's worth another look. McGrady to Carter. That's the Federal Express delivery of the week.
Carter's going to get a shot off. He does. Got it! Vince Carter wins the game.
Vince Carter had the 5th most productive week in the league this season, shooting better than 50% from three-point land, averaging 35 points per game, and more important, he led Toronto to wins over Phoenix, Chicago, and Boston twice.
That's what I do.
Inside, Tracy McGrady.
When you're having fun and you're playing well, you know, you just feel like you belong here. And my first season, I didn't feel like I belonged. I belonged in the NBA. I thought I was on my way out, and I thought it was too hard. But now, you know, I feel like a superstar. I feel like an all-star.
He makes the unit in the league. I told people, he's the best 20-year-old in the world, easily.
I'm still doing my thing. I'm not as big as Vince, but, you know, my time is going to come. I'm just, you know, sitting back, relaxing. I'm just going with the flow, working hard and coming on. I'm going to come on strong.
In Tracy's mind, he's going to make an improvement that somebody's going to be second fiddle to him. Now, Tracy...
Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady. Tracy's a terrific athlete. He's long, just like Pippen. He's like watching Pippen play, but more advanced. By far more advanced in 20 than Pippen ever was. And I think he can become, by being second fiddle to...
Took the time to accept responsibility for his subpar play over the last couple of weeks or so. He knows that he's been struggling. He's acknowledged as...
Starks wants to forfeit his remaining salary this year and join a playoff team. He can't do that now because there was a March 1st deadline to play in the postseason. Kevin, the players...
Payton and the Seattle Supersonics. Wolves building a big lead with Terrell Brandon, the three from the top of the key. And a little fader to beat the shot clock. 20 points for Brandon as the Timberwolves led by 20 after 3. But with Garnett in the locker room receiving treatment, back came the Sonics, and Gary Payton doing much of the damage. The crossover drive and layup. Then he hits the baseline fadeaway. Then watch him just rock Wally Serbiak's world backward, knocks him down, then hits the three-pointer. 34 points for Payton. Now ahead to 5 seconds left in the game. We're tied. Kevin Garnett back in the game for the win. Can't get it to go, and we are headed to overtime. But then Garnett would redeem himself. Foot feeling fine here. Hits the jumper. And then he follows up Zerbiak's miss with a nice putback on the rebound. 21 points for the big ticket as Minnesota won a scrap at the Target Center, 105-100 for their 7th win in their last 8 games.
Matinee action in New York City. Patrick Ewing and the Knicks did not hold court against fellow Old Pro Karl Malone and the Utah Jazz. New York committed 14 turnovers. Latrell Sprewell threw it away. John Stockton the layup at the other end. Sprewell having his problems. Spin move down low, draws nothing but air. Gets his own rebound and misses the layup. Jeff Van Gundy's team clearly in a funk of late. More blunders to come for the Knicks in the second half. Sprewell and Allen Houston, the two-man game. Houston's pass winds up in the expensive front row seats. Spree trying to create off the dribble, and the result, another turnover. The New Yorkers were down by 12 points. Scoring points, a big problem here. Ewing taking the pass in the lane, finger roll, too strong. And all injured Marcus Camby could do is watch the mailman deliver 30 points. The Jazz become just the second Western Conference team to win at Madison Square Garden this season. 88-79 the final. And let's check all of Sunday's NBA.
Ranked Auburn visiting Arkansas. That's Auburn's Doc Robinson with a miss. Three-point line, time running out. It's Arkansas's Joe Johnson trying to beat the buzzer, just gets rid of it, and lo and behold, it goes down. Arkansas going on to win this one 64-55 to hand the Tigers their fourth straight loss. J Squared getting our World Sport POD.
At all the high notes on this edition of World Sport.
For several friends and family, single-handedly destroyed the Los Angeles Clippers. Shaq with 26 points and 11 rebounds in the first half alone, and the birthday boy even tougher in the second half. On the break there, the dunk and the foul, and Shaq with a slam, another slam on the alley-oop. He was 24 of 35 from the field, and he was going for the 60-point barrier, and on this pass from Kobe Bryant, he gets it. A career-high 61 points for Shaq. That is tops in the NBA this season as the Lakers roll to their 16th straight win. And you knew something was special. Kobe getting in the act too, the reverse jam. He had 22 points, but Shaq the story in this one, taking over, outrunning everyone on the career high and NBA season high, 61 points. Plus highlights of another high-flying performance in the NBA as Toronto's Vince Carter went off against powerful Portland. Blazers head to Portland in the Rose Garden, and check it out. Vince smelling like a rose there, blowing by Scottie Pippen. Second quarter on the break, Muggsy Bogues with the alley-oop to Carter, who had 18 points at the half, and the Raptors trailing by 5 though at the break. Third quarter, Carter from the outside. He had 12 in the third frame, just doing it all in this game. Driving on Rasheed Wallace, the beautiful floater along the baseline, 35 in the game as Toronto blows out the NBA's second-best team for their most impressive win of the year.
That he can get down on the basketball court, too. We'll tell
a leader on a campus full of them, not to mention Navy's basketball team.
He's the guy who can take control of the situation.
He's from a very regal family in Senegal, and yet goes to conclusion.
For now, Satafa's life is centered around basketball, and he's widely regarded as the Academy's best player, David Robinson. Senegal's Navy, to whom he owes his military service, has agreed to delay his commitment should the NBA come calling. An unimaginable prospect 4 years ago.
When you play first game under new coach George Irvin, the Pistons facing Denver, and this contest turned into the Grant Hill and Jerry Stackhouse show. Hill had 27 points and 10 assists. Stackhouse scored a career-high 40 points, including 6 three-pointers, as the Pistons outscored the Nuggets 67-50 in the second half and won it easily by 14 points.
Free in Washington, where the tired Wizards aim for their first win streak of the new millennium. They would have to go to overtime with Jeff Van Gundy's Knicks. Mitch Richmond had the hot hand. He scored 16 of his 32 in the very first quarter. The lead seesawing back and forth in the fourth. This is a put back by Patrick Ewing. It's all tied up at 94, and just minutes later, Richmond working off the screen, cans the jumper, and the Wizards are back in front. The next possession, Washington turns the ball over. A steal, Latrell Sprewell. He goes all the way. 2 of his game-high 33. 100 apiece, they head to overtime. The Wizards sealing victory with a 6-1 run in OT. They shot a season-high 61% from the floor, now have their first 2-game winning streak of 2000. 118-113 the final. Slumping Portland suffered its 3rd loss in the last 4 games. Keith Van Horn of the Nets building an early lead. They never looked back. Leading the charge, all-star point guard Stephon Marbury. He can't 24. The Nets led by 24 after 3, and with the game well in hand, the Nets cleared the bench, and that meant some rare playing time for George Murasan. Points were hard to come by, but the gentle giant from Romania still had reason to smile. The Nets took it 115-103, and let's get a close-up look at all the end.
And Carter was at it again in L.A. 1.5 seconds left. Toronto down by 2 to the Clippers, and he drains the three-pointer to give his Raptors a franchise record 7th straight win. Carter with the buzzer beater for the win, and our play of the day.
Portland's pain continued while Indiana extended its home dominance. Indiana native Bonzi Wells led a Blazer comeback. At the other end, Travis Best put the Pacers back up by 1 with that jumper. 12 seconds to go, game tied. Wells would miss the second free throw of the game. Heads to overtime tied at 106. And in OT, Mark Jackson took control. He canned 3 3-pointers, scored a season-high 23. Indiana wins its 25th straight at home. The Blazers have now lost 4 of their last 5 overall.
Wiesen sich gegen Ende als die athletischeren. Vince Carter war mit 35 Punkten einmal mehr Topscorer der Partie. Doch es war vor allem die traumhafte Dreierquote der Kanadier. Sie trafen 65%, die sie auf die Siegerstraße brachte. Carter traf 4 von 5 aus der magischen Distanz. Wenn Portland gegen den Schuss verteidigte, dann zogen die Raptors zum Korb, wie Herr Christie für 2 seiner 26 Punkte. Toronto war einfach spritziger und schoss Portland am Ende fast nach Belieben ab. Toronto gewann das 4. Auswärtsspiel in Folge, 109-90. Die Timberwolves begannen gegen die Sonics furios und legten gleich zu Beginn einen 13-0-Lauf hin. Wally Szczerbiak feierte seinen 23. Geburtstag mit 11 Punkten. Doch die Sonics holten den zwischenzeitlichen 20-Punkte-Rückstand auf und Gary Payton glich sogar mit diesem Dreier aus. Doch es waren noch 3 Sekunden auf der Uhr. Die Chance für die T-Wolves, der Verlängerung zu entgehen. Doch Kevin Garnett traf nur den Ring. KG kam trotz Knöchelverletzung auf 21 Punkte, 13 Rebounds und 7 Assists. In der Verlängerung ließen seine Wölfe dann nichts mehr anbrennen und gewannen 105-100. Zum rein kanadischen Duell zwischen Carters Raptors und Sharifs Grizzlies. Und Carter stellte von Beginn an eines klar: Es gibt nur eine Air Canada. Mit 28 Punkten war er mal wieder Topscorer der Partie. Doch das Spiel blieb eng. 5 Sekunden vor Schluss brachte Sharif Abdur-Rahims Dreier sein Team bis auf 2 Punkte heran. Und dann die große Chance für den einstigen College-Helden Mike Bibby, der freie Korbleger, verpasst. Toronto gewinnt 94-92. Und Carter die dritte. Gegen die LA Clippers hatten die Raptors die Chance zum 7. Sieg in Folge. LA versuchte sich ins Rampenlicht zu spielen, aber mal ehrlich, wie will man Vince Carter die Show stehlen? Das Spiel ging dennoch hin und her und war 2 Sekunden vor Schluss ausgeglichen, bis Carter Lamar Odom foulte. Und der traf beide Freiwürfe. Anderthalb Sekunden vor Schluss, 92-94, Crunch Time und Vince Carter for 3. Yes! Raptors win, Raptors win. Wir bleiben in L.A., denn dort gab sich Kazam die Ehre. Den Clippers wäre es wohl lieber gewesen, wenn er sich nicht umgezogen hätte. Denn gegen Shaq Diesel war einfach kein Kraut gewachsen. Shaq war wie ein Erwachsener bei einem Jugendspiel. Schließlich nutzten seine Mitspieler die Gunst der Stunde und spielten ihn aus allen Lagen an. Shaq verwertete die Vorlagen mit traumwandlerischer Sicherheit. Das Highlight setzte er dann mit einem Alley-oop-Pass. 61 Punkte und 23 Rebounds für Shaq Diesel.
Here's the beautiful team play that can result. The Lakers against Golden State. Look at Shaquille O'Neal, the beautiful no-look bounce pass to a streaking Kobe Bryant who brings down the house. Shaquille, 29 in this game, but even more unselfish to a 30-point effort for Kobe Bryant, and the Lakers win their 17th straight, and it's our world sport play today.
Für mich im Vordergrund.
Jason pulls up, hesitation, drives into the lane, behind the shoulder, flip to the corner.
what a move by Jason Williams! He is amazing!
Er kann so schnell sein, dass man das manchmal gar nicht mitbekommt. Wenn ich mir das Spiel übe, ist unglaublich. Also jetzt auch für Vladi Divac nochmal die Gelegenheit. J. Will at his best.
The kid can pass the ball.
Behind the back.
Jason likes to pass the ball.
Great pass by Williams.
Steps inside the arc, feed the baseline. Bullet, Nick Anderson.
He made one the other.
Fourth spielen kann und wann nicht. Er braucht noch ein wenig mehr Erfahrung.
Quickly out to Williams. Stops left side, looking for the alley-oop, and it works as they find Weber again on a beautiful pass by Jason Williams.
Er ist ein dünner, weißer Typ, der den Ball zwischen den Beinen dribbelt und super No-Look-Pässe macht. Die Leute sehen sowas gerne. Die Coaches wollen das natürlich während der entscheidenden Phase nicht so gerne sehen. Aber die Fans lieben es.
Fans like to see that.
Up ahead to Williams. Watch this.
Down 6, attack. Williams, up and in.
What a game. Williams reaches up high to pick that one out of the sky.
Man weiß, dass er auf ihn vorbereitet sein.
2:20 left in the first. Williams with a little shake and bake.
Williams getting the crowd going off the ball.
Muss. Alle kennen mein Spiel. Jeder weiß, dass sie mich manchmal einfach spielen lassen müssen. Nur so kann ich zu meinem Spiel finden.
Die Teams des Ostens tragen es aus. Die Indiana Pacers gegen die Miami Heat wird Alonzo Mourning Rick Smits zerfleischen am Sonntag um 23:30 Uhr im DSF. 2 Männer fürs Grobe. Elton Brand, Top-Rookie der Chicago Bulls, und Karl Malone, die Power Forwards, treffen aufeinander. Die Chicago Bulls gegen die Utah Jazz am Dienstag um 23 Uhr im DSF. Latrell Sprewell und Allen Houston und die New York Knicks treten an gegen die One-Man-Show. Aus Houston Steve Francis, die New York Knicks gegen die Houston Rockets am Mittwoch früh um 2 Uhr live auf Premiere World und abends dann um 23:15 Uhr im DSF. Am Donnerstag früh um 1:30 Uhr ebenfalls live auf Premiere World die Atlanta Hawks gegen die Indiana Pacers. Der Bad Boy Isaiah Ryder gegen Killer Miller und seine Mannen.